recognized symbol of excellence for your entertainment.
Welcome to Machino Music, the show that puts the music in Machino music, with your host, me, Brett Strong. Today on Machino Music, we'll be talking about 1984, quite possibly the greatest pop culture year ever. Good afternoon, everybody. 1984, quite possibly the greatest pop culture year ever. The greatest pop culture year ever in history. It's been 40 years. Here's the book right here, 1984. They had no idea when this was written, when this was going to actually look. When was this book first published? First published in 1949. They had no idea what 1984 was actually going to look like. We now have proof what 1984 looks like. And said this could be the greatest pop culture year ever. So I'm going to talk about some music and some movies that are now 40 years old, came out in 1984. How about Twisted Sister? Stay Hungry. Big album. It's a big deal. I mean, Dee Snider was a pop culture icon. He was all over the place. And because of this album, We're Not Gonna Take It, I Wanna Rock, it was huge. And MTV was like pretty well at its commercial peak at this time as well, so everything was on MTV.
I want my MTV.
Metallica had a big year with Ride the Lightning. This is my favorite Metallica album. I think this album, even more than the debut. The debut was incredibly groundbreaking. From the year before, 1983, Kill 'Em All. But this one was where Metallica was like, I think they really kind of figured it out on this album. Of course, Master of Puppets would come out later, and that'd be kind of the big sort of masterpiece that everyone still looks at. But this one, I think, is just the band really figuring it out. It really started to hit, and it was just like, such a great album. Gotta mention Van Halen 1984. I mean, this became kind of the sound of 1984. This is the George Orwell book kind of right here. And George Orwell again. But this is kind of when you first hear this sounds like, wow, we're in the 80s now. I mean, just the way that opens with that instrumental titled 1984, and then it goes into Jump, and it's just like, whoa, this is totally new Van Halen. But still huge. They still sound like Van Halen. And of course they had the computer writing 1984, because it was all about computers. Had that commercial that's for the 1984 Olympics. The woman with the thing, and she throws the thing into the thing, and it all explodes, and it's all the computers. Mac computers. It's a big deal. Iron Maiden had a big year with Power Slave. My favorite Iron Maiden record. I mean, it's just like big year for heavy metal, because this is when heavy metal is really starting kind of taking over new wave as the music of the 80s at this point. So, yeah, dig that. Of course, got to talk about Madonna. Like a Virgin. I mean, she was unstoppable. She was at the height of her powers in 1984. All over MTV.
I want my MTV.
All over the place. She couldn't escape Madonna. And then next year she would star in her own feature film, Desperately Seeking Susan. I mean, she just blew up in 1984, and it was because of this record, Like a Virgin. Tina Turner made a massive comeback in 1984 with this album, Private Dancer. I mean, What's Love Got to Do with It? It's huge. Of course, the title track, Better Be Good to Me, all these big songs. And this is an original cassette from 1984, and it's a cassette, so it makes this sound. Love that sound of the cassette. But yeah, Tina Turner made her big comeback. And of course, Prince, Purple Rain. This was massive, huge album. I mean, this like pretty well defines the 80s. I mean, even in The Goonies from 1985, Corey Feldman's character wearing a Purple Rain shirt. It was still huge. It's just so massive, you couldn't escape it. Classic album. Okay, we talked about the album. Gotta talk about the movie, Purple Rain. Prince was on top of the world. You heard the album, now see the movie. I mean, people look back at the movie and kind of think, well, it's a little corny, it's a little cheesy. Prince isn't a very good actor. He didn't need to be a good actor. It's all about his charisma and the fact that he's Prince and the musical performances. I mean, that's what really made this movie. You got a review on the back here. 4 stars. One of the best combinations of rock music and drama. That was from Gene Siskel. And now he was a bit of a poop head. Like, he didn't really like anything. If you watch like all those old Siskel and Eberts, he just kind of gave everything a thumbs down. Didn't really, but he liked Purple Rain. So there you go. It was just so massive. Couldn't escape this album. You couldn't escape the movie. Also got to mention Ghostbusters, of course. I mean, this was just huge. Still a massive franchise. And that's the thing, a lot of these movies started franchises that are still around today. And, I mean, this year, 2024, we're getting a Ghostbusters 4. Can you believe it? I didn't think, even when Ghostbusters 2 was released in 1989, that there'd be a Ghostbusters 4. So, it's crazy. And it all started here. And I mean, this movie was just absolutely massive. And the soundtrack, the Ghostbusters song, was just so huge. I'm trying to pick movies here that, you know, kind of have something to do with music as well. And I mean, the Ghostbusters song. Ray Parker Jr., he's the Ghostbusters man.
Oh, who you gonna call?
Yeah, and then there was that whole lawsuit with Huey Lewis and the News, and the I Want a New Drug sounds like Ghostbusters and that whole thing. But actually, I mean, just a little rant here. There are other songs that sound like Ghostbusters. Even earlier in the 80s, you had the song Pop Music by M. Sounds like Ghostbusters. And then even going even further back, 1967, Soulfinger by the Bar-Kays. Sounds like Ghostbusters, doesn't it? Yeah. It's lawyers. Lawyers get jittery. They start sticking their nose in all this stuff and making a whole big deal. It worked out for everybody. So, and didn't really do anything to hurt the popularity of this movie. I mean, perfect combination of horror and comedy. Got some of the biggest comedians around the time. Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis. Yeah, huge. And it's just still going strong. I mean, of course, you got to mention Ernie Hudson, Winston Zeddemore. He was the real heart of the Ghostbusters, I think. They say it was Dan Aykroyd's Ray Stantz. I think it was because, I mean, he had a kind of bit more of a dramatic side to it. But yeah, fantastic movie. Then you got to mention Beverly Hills Cop. Eddie Murphy at the height of his powers. I mean, he was on top of the world. This is the triple feature 3 DVD set. I don't really like part 2. Actually, I'm probably one of the people in the world that likes part 3. But this is another one now. We're getting a part 4. So actually have another huge franchise started in 1984. And this one had a massive soundtrack attached to it as well. I mean that opening song, "The Heat Is On," Glenn Frey of the Eagles. And this movie, actually, I heard the soundtrack well before I ever got to see the movie, because the movie had too many bad words and I wasn't allowed to see it. So I saw the movie much, much later, but I knew the soundtrack. Axel F. by Harold Faltermeyer. I mean, that put him on the map. He started scoring a lot of movies in the 80s, and it all started with Beverly Hills Cop. That really got him going. I mean, this is just a classic. Gotta talk about Gremlins, another classic horror comedy combination. Originally supposed to be a lot darker, but then when Steven Spielberg came on as producer, he saw the little Gizmo character and thought, he's too cute. We can make a whole thing out of this. We can't make this a dark movie because we can sell a lot of these. And they did. And this is another one that started a franchise. There was a sequel, which director Joe Dante made crazy and insane to ensure there would never be a Gremlins 3, and there still might not be, but there is currently a cartoon series. I don't know a whole lot about it because it's on a streaming service that I don't subscribe to. So I probably should have done research, but I didn't, because in the streaming service, again, I don't subscribe to, so I'm not watching it. But, yeah, so this is still a classic. It's also a Christmas movie. I watch this movie every holiday season. I have to. Because, you know, it's also a perfect bridge, like Halloween and Christmas, because it's still kind of it's a horror movie. This movie also started the PG-13 rating. There are a few scenes in this maybe a little too intense, maybe too inappropriate. So they didn't know, well, it can't be PG, and, you know, we can't make it an R. So they settled on PG-13. That was Steven Spielberg's idea. And he also had Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom that he directed that year. And it also became PG-13. How more cute characters. The Muppets. The Muppets Take Manhattan. This is my favorite Muppet movie. The first one, 1979, The Muppet Movie, is great too. Also, Christmas Carol's really good, but this one's always been my favorite. The cameos in it are great, and of course the songs. The songs are really fun in this. The Muppets trying to stage their own Broadway musical. So yeah, really fun. Just love The Muppets Take Manhattan. And how about Romancing the Stone? This was a big deal. This movie put Robert Zemeckis on the map. The year later he made Back to the Future. If this movie hadn't been a hit, he might not have been able to make Back to the Future. But it all started with this. And this was a big deal. Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, when she was still looking good. I mean, Kathleen Turner now, I mean, I'll point to a picture. Yeah, the hell happened there? And the premise of this movie is still kind of being reused, kind of loosely remade, ripped off, you could say. I mean, the movie Lost City. Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. It's basically Romancing the Stone. A romance novelist, and she puts herself into her adventure, her fantasy world, and there's a treasure map and all this stuff. That's basically what Lost City was doing, kind of a loose remake of this. Also, that current movie Argylle, kind of the same thing. I mean, it has like a spy element, not like a treasure hunt adventure, but still basically, from the looks of it, Romancing the Stone. And talking about music here, tying this in, Dua Lipa in Argylle, Babe-alicious. I mean, and also you got Henry Superman Cavill. He's looking pretty good too. Yeah, lots of eye candy in that movie, so I'll be seeing that. But again, people kind of forget how big this movie was, Romancing the Stone, and it's still being done. And also, it had a pretty big soundtrack. Had the song done by Eddie Grant, Eddie Electric Avenue Grant. Wasn't a massive hit for him, but still was attached to this movie, so it's kind of remembered. But yeah. Also, I have to mention, couldn't find my copy of it, blew my stack looking for it. This is Spinal Tap. I mean, this is the greatest and funniest rock documentary or mockumentary. I mean, it's just brilliant. Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer are a heavy metal band. It's so funny. I mean, it's so quotable. Everybody should know this movie. It is so funny. And, of course, directed by Rob Reiner, who's now currently trying to debunk the Kennedy assassination on some podcast. Yeah, that's what he's doing now. Yeah, okay. 40 years later, that's what he's doing. But yeah, it's just such a classic movie. So much, like, if you just, like if you're into music and you kind of know where a lot of these stories came from, a lot of these bands that it's sort of like ripping on, it becomes even funnier. But yeah, it's so good. Love Spinal Tap. Wish I could find my copy of it, but I can't. So there you go. 1984, quite possibly the greatest pop culture year ever in history. Some music, some movies. If you're a fan of any of this music, any of these movies, I hope you enjoyed this. That's it for this week. Until we meet again, this is Brett Strong saying good journey.